Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are unaware, Mamamax is a YouTuber that existed on YouTube for like 7 years. This might be one of the most insane drama rabbit holes that we're ever going to be getting into. Unfortunately, I am way too involved, and that sucks, which is why I haven't covered it yet, but I'm going to now. I didn't want to for a while, but unfortunately, too many people are asking me for my opinion and my take and stuff because I know the guy, and we are going to be getting into it in incredible depth, covering possibly the most failed attempt at being Batman in the history of time itself. So, Oompaville recently dropped a video, and I assume my guy, Oompy, really covers this story in incredible depth with all the details as he goes, and as Oompaville tends to do. I love this man. And it gets pretty crazy and deep and dark, but I really wanted to cover this situation with kind of my thought process going through the whole thing, because there are a lot of private calls I had with Max as this went through. For those of you that are uninitiated, Mamamax is basically a YouTube channel that devoted his life to hunting pedophiles, which is such a noble cause. How can you even question the guy? Well,
Me from the future, here to give you an update that you need because I am a hero and I am falsifying narratives just for you.
Yo, I love people that falsify narratives. They're my favorite people. Okay, all right.
This story got more insane than I could have ever possibly predicted and or imagined. Mutahar made a video that is insane.
Everyone's covering this stuff. It got so big for so many reasons.
And Nicholas DiOrio also made a video that is crazy of leaked phone calls and NDAs. This shit goes deep as so buckle in, enjoy this part. There's going to be more. And that is, of course, if we all don't get sued.
Yeah, so a crazy update is after Muta made his video talking about this thing, there was a leaked screenshot from Mamamax and his server saying that Mutahar is extremely rich, so we'll sue him for $1 million. So the reason why I was really hesitant to cover this in the past was because I have been like backstabbed a lot. Like, I have an issue that I actually trust friends. And I talked about this a little on the podcast, but like, I'll make friends with someone and I'll trust them too much. Like, it's so sad that this is the lesson I'm learning from YouTube. Like, I believed in this man because, you know, he was like a homie. I didn't really know him that well. He's been on the podcast a few times. He's a homie. And, you know, he's a friend and, you know, I'll believe him.
Allegedly. I don't know if this tweet's real, but if this shit's real, this is about to be one fucking crazy ride. Hello.
I'm just saying, don't take this to assume that people I was friends with, I'm no longer friends with. Like, I'm still friends with almost everyone that I've been friends with. I've just been backstabbed a couple of times, and it hurts. It hurts really, really badly when you actually believe in people, and then those people are like, oh, well, they turn out to not be as wholesome and nice and kind as you might have thought.
Caleb, I've been wearing the same clothes for 4 days, and I haven't showered in 5. So this is
musty Caleb. This is his true form.
Really big, crazy, unbelievable, mind-boggling situation that's been going
It's so much crazier than anyone thinks. Oh Lord.
Down over the last couple days, and I am directly involved in it, and I will explain to you exactly why. But first, a word from our sponsor.
What?
Just kidding. But
I was about to say, there's no way he got a sponsor for the pedophile allegation video. Ain't no way.
First, are you familiar with Mamamax?
Okay, so I had a private call with Mamamax right before this all went to shit, and the way that call ended was with Max saying, "I'm gonna call Mutahar and apologize." Now he's threatening to sue Mutahar. Basically, it fucking sucks.
The content creator. Mamamax is the love child of Chris Hansen, Corpse Husband, and Leafy is Here.
What the hell is this analogy? What?
Chris Hansen because he's a predator hunter, or at least he made it seem like he was. Corpse Husband because of the way his voice sounds. He sounds like he's trying to seduce you while making you believe that he's hunting predators or something. I'm not sure.
How many bloody times do we have to do this dance? You f with us, we f with you.
And Leafy is here because
dude, it's crazy. It was so insane to me when it was made clear recently that all of his past content are fake. Do you understand what this man's content was for the last like 5 years? The fact that he would make a video for 26 of those 30 minutes, it's all bullshit that he is making up.
Mamamax became pretty popular back in late 2021 and early 2022 when he uploaded a video titled "Pick a Side, YouTube," and he accused YouTube of protecting predators, essentially.
Which obviously is fake, right? Like, he was complaining that, you know, people cover gritty topics and get age restricted, and that sucks. and he used it as a way to frame it as YouTube's protecting pedophiles, which obviously YouTube isn't protecting pedophiles, but the point is, no one likes the fact that edgy content gets demonetized. Why is it that a news channel will not get demonetized for something that a content creator actually gets demonetized for? So, like, the cause is legitimate, the method is insane.
It was covered by a lot of people, myself included, as you can tell by this thumbnail that I did.
Yeah. It's a good thing. This sad Oompaville. We're used to happy Oompaville, not this one. This is the Oompaville that's making videos on YouTube, which is protecting pedophiles.
I thought it was really good. I thought it was a really good idea. My videos didn't do as well then, as you guys can tell. I can't imagine why. I can't imagine why they didn't do as well then.
Don't say it's the thumbnails. Don't see, bro. You make great thumbnails. Okay.
Came on to the Some Ordinary podcast as a guest, and we talked about how well his video was done and how dramatized it was and how interesting and artistic and epic it was.
Of course, I covered the Pick Aside YouTube. Mamamax was invited onto our pod. He comes on our podcast. He's a normal guy. The craziest thing is with Mamamax, and here's something that people on YouTube I don't think understand. He'll make a video which is super over insane.
Pedophiles, I will find you. I will kill you.
Right? And it's like really edgy and shit like that. But then when you talk to him normally, he's just the nicest down-to-earth guy in the world. And then you tell him, it's like, oh, I think you're doing something stupid here. And he'll be like, wow, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I will definitely fix it moving forward. And then he doesn't fix it. But when he tells you that, like, you believe him. He's like, oh, wow, he just took my criticism, and he was, like, super cool about that.
And we also talked about the conversation that it started, guys, because that's what we're all about, is starting conversations. We're in it for the social change.
All right, Oompaville.
At least I am. That's why I do this. Also, the money. Mamamax became notorious for using his channel to call out.
That was a Jew moment. I didn't say anything. Don't ban me, Kick. Don't ban me, Kick. Kick won't ban me. You can say whatever you want here. Yeah, so speaking of the social change and all that stuff, I did talk to Mamamax about this specifically, and I didn't want to leak this really until this really blew up, and at this point, my friendship with Max is, like, completely over. I feel like vilely betrayed. He thinks he is the next Martin Luther King. He says that everyone has to be edgy to force politicians to talk about social change. Martin Luther King did it, why can't I? And it's like, wait, you don't actually believe that you're... All right, whatever. We'll cover that more later, I suppose. But that was a whole conversation I had with the guy.
Files and predators with a deep, emotionally complex twist. Turns out there are a lot of people that now believe he was deceiving everyone all along.
Yeah.
So how can you go from being essentially a hero in some sense to a villain in another sense? That seems really stupid to say out loud. It sounded better in my head.
You either die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Oh, let's talk about his pedo hunting videos. He's best known for his videos and content that are geared towards...
And then there's me, just always the villain.
Hunting and reporting them to the FBI. In these videos, he artistically describes himself hunting down pedophiles and pretends he's the chicken from Hotline Miami on frequent occasions. It's really odd. I mean, they might say he's super artistic. The dude has definitely got a mind for art.
That's the crazy thing is his videos were all super like artsy fartsy and not exactly the type of content that I think most people would enjoy. But here's the thing. Max would make these videos hunting down pedophiles, which is probably the most noble cause in the world, I guess, right? Like, if you think about it, he's going up against the most evil people you could think of. So you're not going to be the asshole to say, all right, dude, you shouldn't be doing this, when he's going up against pedophiles and he's claiming he's getting them arrested, even though that was a lie. And at the same time, you look at his comments, and his comment section is all just like, as a survivor of, you know, sexual assault, I have to say this video made me feel safe and all that. And it's like, who am I to criticize this man? That was the mindset so many people were in as stuff was going. Okay, so it looks like an ARG. It looks stupid and overly edgy and dramatized for the sake of art and content, but it's making people feel comfortable, and he's going up against the greatest evil known to mankind. How could you hate it? Well, what if he never actually had any evidence for the people that he was calling pedophiles?
For sure. I've never done anything artistic in my life except for this. Check this out.
Yo, what? Oh, it's so artistic.
What do you think? Is that pretty cool? How do I look? Did I look good? Did I look artistic?
That was pretty artistic.
How about this?
love Oompaville so much. I love him so much.
How about that?
That's pretty artistic.
Do I seem artistic?
Wow, you are so artistic, Oompaville.
He made 10 of these PDF file hunting videos, cracking down on disgusting freaks from around the internet and world. But his community continually supported him to keep these freakazoids off the streets. Okay, so you can see maybe there's a bit of too much, you know, too much blown smoke a little bit.
Here's the thing. Like, if everyone reveres you as a hero, you start to see yourself as a hero, too. It was really a mistake that the community had for a long time, that that everyone kind of gave him a pass for the reasons that I've mentioned. But people did, me included, and it was such a fuck up on my part.
I've never received a nice comment like this ever. That's
not true, Oompaville. I think you are a hero. You are a beautiful, sexy man, and your mustache speaks volumes about your character.
How big my head is.
You do have a big head, though. I'm not lying.
On my body, and also how just round and bulbous my ass cheeks are. That's another.
You do have pretty bulbous ass cheeks.
Common comment that I get that I just can't stand seeing. So now the story.
Also, let's not forget that Mamamax calls himself Mama and calls his audience my children, which, like, it should have been a red flag.
Hello, my children. Today we're going to be telling you a story that I'm going to be making up.
Is this veil of badassery is slowly dropping, and we are witnessing a YouTuber with a bit of a hero complex, a bit of a savior complex, right? Messiah complex.
I guess I have like a hero complex because I want to take care of everything and protect y'all.
Do you know what that is? I'll put a definition on the screen.
Bro thinks he's Martin Luther King, okay? I said that as a joke, but he said that to me. And then, like, in a call, he said, oh, no, I didn't mean it, like, literally. But I think he did.
For you right now, okay? Heal and heal. And also heal and bail.
Wow.
And also bail.
Oh, such informative content.
Motherfucker. The following section will be about how Max basically can get his audience to kill people, or at least say that they're going to kill people on his behalf, and also he calls them to do so. How exactly do you get an audience that's this loyal and this protective? Well, you post videos for years about topics that ignite protective instincts in people. You galvanize the public. You get the hearts and the minds. How many?
And the wallets, because my guy was making tens of thousands of dollars a month on Patreon because people wanted to support his quest hunting pedophiles, of which he never actually succeeded a single time.
Times do I have to tell you, idiots? It's easy to galvanize people into doing the right thing, especially when it involves protecting children and punishing bad guys.
What's so insane is, like, he has clips in his videos where he would literally say, donate to my Patreon. Every dollar that you give me is helping put pedophiles in jail. And you're like, oh, fuck, of course I'm gonna give him money now. And then there's me, who goes live and says, you don't need to donate if you don't want to. I do have a Patreon, by the way. Every dollar you give me is helping me get a dollar richer. Just saying, patreon.com/nuxtaku.
Grown an audience that is drawn specifically to that mission, which is protecting children and punishing bad guys.
Which is super noble, I guess.
Also a bit of the awesome artistic filmmaking and some sexy, sultry voice. On top of this, a lot of the people that watch his videos, or a lot of the people that comment and feel the need to speak publicly in his comment sections, they share that they have faced a lot of the same trauma his videos claim to call attention to. So it's a very close reference for a lot of people that are seeking justice for the things that he's covering as well. It's like,
and here's the thing, the justice system needs work. The justice system doesn't actually take every villain and make them accountable. So when you have someone who's out here doing vigilante shit, you know, you root for them because you root for their goal. This guy wants pedophiles put away, which is, I mean, awesome. I guess. But he's actively hindering all of this stuff. Bro thinks he's Batman when he's just some guy making YouTube videos and not successfully putting away a single guy.
It's just a big sort of family. There are a lot of people who are able to exercise.
I think he doesn't even realize that he became a cult leader.
Parts of their brain that they normally aren't in regard to their trauma by watching Max's videos. It seems like that way. Also, a massive element of his content is just calling to attention the fact that many predatory individuals get away with little or no consequences for their behavior, which that is absolutely demonstrably true.
Yeah, I think that it's very important to know that vigilantism almost never actually does anything of use, right? That's why there are laws. That's why there is a justice system. Vigilantism doesn't really work. That's why EDP, all right? EDP has some of the most goddamn cohesive evidence against him in the world. He is probably the most well-known pedophile alive that is not at all in prison, all right? That's just wandering around in public.
This series was my stand against the proliferation and normalization of pedophilia on the internet.
This is what I mean. When I explained to him that he's not Martin Luther King, he was like actually surprised. So basically, I told him, dude, stop pressuring public figures to comment on stuff without evidence. And all that. And he says to me, your point is well taken. Though often frowned upon initially, pressuring public figures has historically been an essential tool for social change. Martin Luther King Jr., for example, faced significant opposition. He was frequently arrested, and his actions were considered radical during the time. Yet, it was this pressure that contributed to the transformative change in civil rights. And anyway, he keeps going. Like, every single one of his messages is like he's sending me an entire Encyclopedia Britannica. It goes forever. But, so that's the message he sends me, and I believe he crafts every single one of his private DMs through ChatGPT. Like, they all have the commas and the periods and all that stuff. When I got that message, I was so, like, blown away at how people can make this junk that he thinks he is the new Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King was fighting for civil rights that didn't exist at the time. He was taking a stance that people didn't have. Mamamax is saying pedophiles bad. This is not something he needs to convince most people of. Like, that, it's a pretty basic freaking take.
That is 100. There's a community of people who literally wave a flag that they are proud of, that they're free. The map community.
Oh,
God,
dude.
How did this? Thinking the map.
How did he get into this topic?
Community.
No, I don't really like the map community all that much, to be honest. Or anyone who just defends in general. I don't really care all that much. And also the fact that Anders Breivik, the
what
bro
is
from
this?
Norway, is still alive, makes my skin want to, my largest organ want to leave my body. And then,
bro, that was such a whole tangent. Oh my god. For those of you that don't know what the MAP community is, MAP stands for minor attracted persons.
The lack of consequences that this man points out is a massive potential to galvanize an audience, and in some cases, maybe even try to take justice into their own hands, a la Batman style.
Was that the bat signal? That was the greatest bat signal I've ever heard.
Also has done these Discord town hall things, and in one, people asked him how to hunt predators, and he says that he is making a video to teach people how to hunt. But in the same part, he says that not everything that he does is legal.
For those of you who want to
see, again, okay, whatever. We'll watch this clip and then I'll tell you my thoughts.
hunt, I'll make a video in the future telling you what to do. But yeah, as for right now, just wait for that video, because it is dangerous work. And
dangerous work. This dude sits in his bedroom all day and makes up stories.
A lot of shit that I do might not be considered legal in every country.
Yeah, right.
Including our own country.
What the fuck, bro? Why do you think this makes you look like you're in a good light? You just threw out every single case that you ever had. Every time you will ever bring a case to the police and be like, this is a situation that I've managed to uncover. And the police is just gonna pull up this clip of him saying, I don't do things that are legal. And they'll be like, yeah, well, you can just get the hell right out of here.
And while this isn't explicitly telling his audience to break the law, if he admits that he's doing illegal things for his investigations and they look up to him, there's going to be a fringe of people that equate that with it being okay, and him sort of, purveying that message that it is fine to break the law, but only when you're putting predators away.
Where is Rachel?
I'm not gonna sit here and say that that's bad, but at the same time, we're not talking about me right now. I mean, yeah, you just can't say you're doing illegal things online. It's not a good idea, especially when you're doing things that are within the legal system.
Exactly. Thank you for bringing this up.
Like getting people arrested for committing crimes.
Did I just jump scare everybody? I'm so sorry. Sorry, Chad.
If you're breaking the law doing that, it's kind of It defeats the point a little bit in the modern day justice system.
Yeah.
This ain't the medieval fiefdom, you dumb bastards. He tries to avoid a bit of accountability by saying that everything he says is fictional and he's just playing a character.
It's all fictional. It doesn't matter anyway. Everything's fictional, guys.
The way he says it, this is like accountability. So after people actually find out that like all his videos are fake, basically, do you realize that he'll say, oh no, I said it was fictional over here in this call, but it sounds like he's being sarcastic. It sounds like he's being sarcastic to get out of trouble. It's like saying, I'm gonna come kill you. In Fortnite,
everything I say, I'm playing a character right now. So it doesn't matter. Anything I say right now can't be used against me in a court of law.
Which is such a fucking bullshit thing to say. And like all these people are looking up to him. Dude literally thinks he's Martin Luther King. He has an insane complex, and this guy needs serious help.
I really like doing that, and I'm going to start saying that to you guys. Everything I say is not real. I'm just playing a character.
I am playing a character. A black character. Proceeds to say the N-word.
Looks at camera and says slur.
No! He said the same joke. No, God, no. No. Keep stealing people's jokes.
Now, this Discord town hall is from 2 years ago, but even last year in a video, he talked about how he started his own underground crime fighting organization. This video is censored for YouTube, so it covers up what he really says, which I assume is something along the lines of hunters, but I don't really want to sub to the Patreon for the uncensored version. He's also just literally always RPing that he's in Hotline Miami. It's weird as
It's not weird, like, if that's your content and you're making edgy shit and, like, it's just random ARG, horror, you know, down the YouTube rabbit hole of cringy kids content. If you want to play that character, fine. But when you're trying to craft narratives and expose real-life people and dox real-life people that you are accusing to be the worst type of human being imaginable, you can't get away with this. And he did for so long.
Involved. I've got to get involved. It's constant back and forth of having to get involved. And with these claims,
I'm Batman from Wish.
he's always dressed up like a
Have you ordered your Wish.com, Batman?
Hotline Miami character, which is ironic because I think he's completely misinterpreted the entire story of Hotline Miami. This Reddit comment, for example, explains it best. Using violence for any reason, but especially to further a cause you deem is morally good, regardless of what it is, only leads to your own destruction. Only one character, one of the ones with the least screen time in the series, killed out of patriotism. All the others were doing it for other reasons, such as being forced into killing or wanting to protect or avenge their loved ones. All of them shared the same fate.
Violence is not the answer. Violence is the question. The answer is yes.
It's the Patriot game, my friends. Also, throughout the whole game, you're breaking the fourth wall, thinking whether or not it's really worth the violence. Because in the end, you're ironically putting yourself at the same fate and making decisions that lead to your own undoing. It's like a cute thing, but I think he's kind of missed the point. He also references to hitmen and that they give him discounts.
Yeah, oh god, dude.
Why?
I wish I would have known about all this stuff before I got to know Max. Sorry. Oh god.
Duh. I forgot to put the D there.
And everything I'm about to say is, of course, fictional.
Everything I'm about to say is fictional. Oh, now you can't use it against me in a court of law.
Yeah, if they're a hitman, they'll basically like offer services for like very expensive prices.
Oh, that's fun.
But they give me a discount since it's pedophiles.
Let Sheriff Richard Jones.
They give me a discount because it's against pedophiles, but it's fictional. I hire fictional hitmen.
No, we do not appreciate them. In the event that they do not make an adequate response, there really is no other option. Is there, children?
Dude, and then he'll show the face of someone that he is saying is a pedophile. He'll say, you know what to do, in the creepy voice. He'll call them children, and here you have an audience which is basically full of, you know, sexual assault survivors that look up to this man like he's Batman, and he shows a face of some guy that he is calling a pedophile under no uncertain terms, even though there isn't really any evidence. And he says, you know what to do, which, well, I'm not calling them to action. I'm just saying they know what to do, which is get the authorities involved, probably.
There really is not other options. Is there, children? Another direct reference to Hotline Miami. I mean, this is, we're in real life. This is the thing. This is YouTube. It's real life. You can't, a lot of these things are illegal. A lot of this is illegal. Is it all fake? Like, are you just pretending to be really cool? Are there no, like, it's...
I'm not inciting violence. I'm just telling them they already know what to do.
You're blurring, there's a bit of a blur of the lines as to what's real and what's not real, and I don't know what the f is going on. It's a constant reference to a game about getting shit done, which is kind of ironic because he doesn't really seem to do a lot himself to stop files. Like, his track record is not really that effective.
He has a track record of 0.
Or at least we don't know really what's real and what's not. He always calls up his goons, saying that he has a crazy audience of hitmen or insane people that will get shit done for him. This is him, like, weaponizing his audience.
My God,
and this is not the only time or way that he's done it. It's bizarre. Here's another example of him doing this, and that is a call to action, but without explicitly saying such.
Who will decidedly grant these predators the most
delightful dreams
they could never even
Oh my
fathom.
God.
He shows an email of a bounty with a screenshot of gloves, a mask, and a knife, and then asks, who will decidedly grant these predators the most delightful dreams? It's so cringe. I'm glad I don't have to pretend like it's not cringe anymore. It's odd. It's odd. It's the whole...
It's odd. It's odd. But it's a crazy story. And if you watch these videos, again, it feels fake, right? It feels fake. It doesn't feel real, which is part of the appeal. But also, he frames it like it is real, sort of, especially because he has some guy at the end of every video that he basically says, this is the pedophile, find him. And it's like, oh God. Watching any of his videos just makes me feel awful.
whole thing is, it's real odd. And it's cool because I hate files, right?
Based Goompaville, let's go. Based, he's just like Martin Luther King.
21, I made my video, we had him on the podcast and stuff, and even up until this recently, when he reached out to me on Discord for his fucking Camden drug,
because ultimately this guy's out there hunting down pedophiles. That's fucking awesome. Okay, I guess. I mean, it would have been if you would have just reported them to the authorities.
our Davis thing, and he started just going off the deep end. Before that, I was like, yeah, this guy's chill. You know, he's doing a great job, and he's hunting files. Didn't do any research at all, to be honest. Just kind of took him at his word, because if you do any research, if you try to disprove that someone's hunting files, what does that say about you?
Exactly! Nail on the head! Dude, Oompa and I are basically in the same spot here. I think that we were both kind of introduced to him at the same time on our podcast, where he was, you know, and like, you're gonna question this guy who's because remember, he lied about getting pedophiles locked up. He lied about literally getting pedophiles arrested. If he's doing that, if he had got one pedophile put in prison, this man contributed positively to the world. So who am I to claim that his videos are cringe or that his content is too edgy?
And now there's just like a lot of insane shit. So it's kind of makes more sense to dig into it. This leads us into the main point of my entire video, which I believe the blind devotion from his viewers and how much just smoke was being blown up this guy's ass. It got to his head, and he recently let it be known how delusional he has become when in October 2023,
he changed his channel's name to God Cult.
He uploaded a video titled Brainwash Your Favorite Influencers. In this video, he calls for his audience to essentially spam large creators, to call for them to cover stories saying that it's a test of their character. So if they
basically, if you don't cover the story that he is telling you to cover, well, then you are protecting pedophiles.
PewDiePie, you are a new father. You care about children, don't you? Well, why are you not calling out pedophiles?
They don't do it, they're bad people because they're preventing pedophiles, or they're not preventing files or whatever. They're not actively, you know, saying nothing is still saying something. Shut up. Ever heard of a mugwump? He calls out a few creators, specifically himself, in the video, not waiting for his audience to chase down their targets. PewDiePie, he calls out. He also uses the fact that PewDiePie is newly a father as a detail to try and guilt him into covering his story about files. Friedman, the podcast guy. Jimothy Breast. Joe Rogan. And bro's just clout chasing, trying to get on
Mr. Breast.
ARE like CoffeeZilla. And by the way, in this video, he also calls out a predator. What kind of predator, you might ask? A pedophilic werewolf god who allegedly lured a 16-year-old girl named Shelby Spencer Slayton to join his supernatural sex cult as a vampire.
On March 18th, 2016, Spencer, a 16-year-old girl from Wiley, Texas, mysteriously disappeared. Lured by the illusion of joining a supernatural family as a vampire, on some random corner of the internet.
That's right. That is correct.
Yeah. So here's the thing. He'll say these things, you know, like they're fact, even though they're only an allegation. He says them that they're fact. Like, it's as if he has evidence, which he doesn't have. He just has allegations, and he thinks allegations are enough evidence, even though they are not. And he waited years to make this video, even though he knew about it for a long time. Here's something else that I only learned later. I don't know if Wimpaville's actually going to cover this in the video. So this Spencer person, not only is she currently living in Mamamax's house and being given free room and board, and definitely has financial reasons as to why she is doing what she is doing, she's a family friend. She was in Mamamax's high school, and he didn't feel the need to disclose this at any point. She was in Max's sister's class, I believe. This is the most conflict of interest thing I've ever heard in my life. Because when this is presented, it's like Spencer was failed by the legal system, so she came to me. And it turns out that maybe she was failed by the legal system, but also you are the most biased person in the world, and you cannot be making these accusations like they're fact.
On some random corner of the internet.
That's right. That is correct. That is 100% true in the video. That's what happened. He gives the full name of this individual, Camden Gerard Davis, and shows this supposed vampire werewolf deity.
Looks like a vampire werewolf deity.
Who looks just like some random guy you'd see in a cringe compilation. He looks like an 11-year-old boy. He looks like harmless. Completely. Who would...
So here's the thing, and this is true, because I talked to Max and I talked to Spencer about this whole thing, because I've been telling them for weeks that you guys have to make a fucking video with evidence or leave the internet forever. This was my take literally the entire time. When they made this video, I said, do not come back until you have an entire video with evidence against this guy, or just never come back. That's what I told them. And then you have Spencer told me, you know, her allegation against this guy, and it's horrible. You know, there might even be malfeasance. I'm not saying this is a false accusation. It's just an accusation with no evidence.
Would follow this guy. And, you know, you make such a big claim, you call out all these creators saying, in part, that they're, you know, not doing, they're doing a disservice to the world by not covering files. You have to cover files. You're not just an entertainer. You are a virtuous mouthpiece of what is right. You're a moral arbiter.
He's so right. I didn't think of it like this, but I am a moral arbiter. I am a spiritual mouthpiece. Oh my God, you're so right.
You are an arm of God.
Yo, I am an arm of God. I should stand up for what I believe in. Guys, I have the balls to say something right now. I kind of feel like I'm Martin Luther King right now with what I'm about to say. Pedophiles are bad. Can't believe I got that off my chest.
Directly when you are a YouTuber. Not only are you just a random guy, you're also
Finally, someone said it. Thank you, Chad. Thank you. Stunning and brave, I know.
A massive vessel of what is right when you start making YouTube videos. Or that's not what I thought you were supposed to be. That's what Mamamax thinks he is and what all these people should be. What evidence does he provide to prove the insanely serious allegation and doxing against this individual? Well, outside of a personal testimony from Spencer, nothing at all.
That's the worst part of it. That is literally so awful. He has zero evidence at all, and he's trying to blackmail people into getting into this thing. Then you have these leaked clips of him saying,
Charlie, I could literally cancel you, Charlie.
This video is for Seema Davis. I would like to extend my most heartfelt apology that this is how you have to find all of this out. But the fact of the matter is, your son...
Dude, right, I forgot about that. Yeah, and then they call out literally, like, they dox the parents of this Camden guy who they are saying is a pedophile, even though they have no evidence for it. They dox his parents, they dox his siblings, they just go crazy.
Camden Gerard Davis has been victimizing hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds.
Hundreds upon hundreds. That's a lot of people.
Of minors.
Spencer records a video in which she calls out Camden's mother, saying that her son is a predator victimizing hundreds upon hundreds of children, including her, and abusing her in multiple ways, and at one point allegedly trying to kill her.
By March of 2016.
Apparently, he forced her to go through 4 miscarriages over the course of 4 months, which is a horrible thing, and I can't even imagine something like this. 4 miscarriages in 4 months is a biological impossibility. So it gets really ugly when you're dealing with claims like this that aren't just unverified, but also not completely possible. Like, it's such a messy situation. And listen, if this Davis guy is actually some pedophile vampire cultist guy that's convincing people they're supernatural beings and he's raping kids, which is fucked up. And if he is, and I hope this guy gets immediately incarcerated, this guy's cleaning everything right now. There's now a public target on his back, and he can run away.
He convinced me and lured me over state lines. I ran away. When I did make it to Atlanta on the bus, Camden got an Uber, came and picked me up, and brought me back to your house.
This is the only piece of evidence that she saw him before. She was with him in the past. This is the only evidence-ish, question mark, asterisk, that corroborates the story.
In Lilburn, Georgia. He mentally abused me, physically abused me, sexually abused me, and at even one point tried to kill me.
So there is no evidence of this.
I'm so sorry if that's true, and if it is true, then holy shit, you gotta get this guy arrested ASAP, but this was the worst possible way to go about doing that.
From one testimony from one person, and this person, by the way, has a relationship with Mamamax.
Thank God he's bringing this up.
Now, by God, if that's not a conflict of interest for doing the right thing and actually bringing justice to evil people, I don't know what the fuck is. I'm just calling it how I see it. I'm trying to stay real.
So I told this to Max in a call, and I never wanted to release calls that I had with him. I had a call with him, and I told him, do you remember there was this story where there were these allegations against Quite, and they almost destroyed the guy's life, and he came back and he disproved everything, and guy's in the clear. And Max is like, oh yeah, I remember that happened. And I said, well, when the allegations came out against Quite, there was this YouTuber by the name of Lord Bung, a big channel, and he supported the allegations against Quite because the person that made the allegations was a friend of his. And when Quite proved that all the allegations were false, Lord Bung deleted his channel and disappeared. He was friends with this person that made the allegations, and he believed his friend, and Quite ended up completely vindicated. And Lord Bung had to ended his career because he supported allegations to ruin someone's life without evidence because it was said by a friend. And I said this to Max point blank. I said, Max, you sound like another Lord Bung. You are supporting allegations of a friend of yours with no evidence. You sound like another Lord Bung. And then, of course, Max says, wow, Nux, thank you so much. You've given me so much to think about. Wow, I'm going to think about all of this. And then he doesn't do anything. It's so frustrating to deal with people that are like super nice and well thought out and accepting of criticism when you talk to them privately, and then they don't listen to anything that you say publicly and fucking make a mess of everything.
With y'all. We'll get into that though. All right, we'll get into that. Also, that needs to be fact checked. That's just what I've been saying lately. I don't know if that's 100% true. Now let's talk about the lying and fraud perpetrated by Mamamax. Mamamax's content relies on the attachment of the viewer to the topics that he covers and the people that he covers, the PDF files that he covers. Ooh. It turns out that almost all of these are fabricated stories by his own admission. In a video from 2 months ago, he admits that the narratives in his videos are crafted in fiction, but then claims that the predators are real, and so is his pursuit of them. What the f does that mean, bro?
Thank you.
While the narratives were crafted in fiction,
oh, Lord.
The predator and the pursuit was very much a reality.
The narratives were crafted in fiction. What the f what are you talking?
Basically, my entire video is fake, and then I show you a face of some guy, and you would just have to believe that this guy is a pedophile. I'm not gonna show you any evidence, but and I'm not telling you to assault him and kill him or anything, but if you did, like, that would be pog.
Talking about? You just lost me. You just fucking lost me. You're an idiot. What are you talking? It's crafted in fiction? But what are you doing? Why not just be like Alex Rosen or the other guys, Chet Goldstein, and that guy who fucking plays him in fucking Mortal Kombat? Why not just
what is he talking about?
Actually go confront them and make content that way? Why
go confront them, dude? Why should I confront them?
If my children will confront them for me.
You need to fake a story if there's a real predator in question, especially if you're trying to seek justice and expose a predator. You're doing an absolute unjustifiable disservice to real victimized people of predators by fabricating a story just to sensationalize it for a fucking YouTube video.
Every time someone would question him or say, hey, Max, you have no evidence. I will not be supporting your claims without evidence. Max would say, you are preventing survivors from telling their stories because of your criticism. I am preventing survivors because I am telling you you're going about this shittily. That's a heavy load of bricks to just drop on some guy trying to give you some advice.
In real situations, and then changing it for a good viewer experience instead of accurately reporting the facts of a situation. Bold. One incredibly mind-boggling example of this is in relation to an underage girl who was supposedly R-worded and then K-worded in his IMVU
Oh God,
video.
I hate this also.
Casey
Oh
is
God.
the girl, and here is a clip of him talking about the ultimate.
Dude, you are not ready for this. Dude, I watched this video years ago and I was like, oh shit, this is a good video. And now looking at it again with all the context, knowing that he's faking all of this. And dude, I was just dumb enough to just blindly, I guess, think to myself, oh well, I guess this is real. Like he's a friend. He wouldn't lie about this. And then, oh God,
Fate of KC.
A girl named KC157434 can be found near the very bottom of his friend's
look at his profile picture. KC's profile picture is Pain from Naruto. This is going to be very important later.
list, meaning it was one of his first victims on IMVU. She only has one follower, and she only follows one person. Solitary, isolated, and quiet. His exact methodology.
He also claims that upon reverse image searching Casey's profile picture, he found a YouTube channel. Then he got one of his hackers to access the account and find unlisted videos.
She doesn't respond to any of my messages, but through an image search, we found a YouTube channel with
It has a Naruto profile picture? It must be the same person.
the possible connection, simply named Casey, created back in 17 with 0 videos, or rather, 0 public videos. After a bit of ingenuity, one of my hackers managed
One of my hackers. Guy has no hackers, okay? I'm just saying.
to extract some unlisted uploads from the channel.
That's bullshit. You can't hack a YouTube channel to get access to unlisted videos. Why would he lie about this? Okay, I get it. It's for theatrics, but like, I guess it's probably true, right? Right? No, it's not.
But out of respect for her privacy and safety, I will not show them. Except for one. Her last one. Posted on November 16th, 2020.
One
This
of
is fucked up. What you're if Oompa shows it, oh God.
the videos is called "This Is Where You Are Worded and Killed Me." He then said that she's dead and is showing a clip from what is allegedly her YouTube saying that she was R-worded and killed. But then, when asked about this in the Discord,
In that video that he claims he managed to hack out of that channel,
Bro.
he shows a video of a blanket and mattress covered in blood in middle of the forest. Like, this is where she was raped and murdered. Then he basically corroborates this, and he's like, yep, she's dead.
all we talked about earlier, he says that she's fine.
I can't talk too
Unfortunately.
much about KC. I don't know what I can and can't say.
Because it's all fake, right? He made this entire story up, we're realizing.
Tell you that, yes, she's okay.
He says in the video she's dead.
Oh, thank God. I didn't even know that. Holy shit. That's something I wanted to actually jump in
Does that sound like an audience member that believes that his stories are crafted in fiction?
be with you about at some point.
Yes, but
Thank God.
What the f is going on right now? This is so confusing. So now we know he's just calling out YouTubers to cover these situations. And we also know that he's just quite literally making shit up and wants all these YouTubers to just blindly follow him and cover a story that he provides zero actionable evidence.
Dude, thank God. When he reached out to me about this current debacle right away, I said, I'm not covering this. There's no evidence. Like, that was the first thing I told him. I'm like, maybe once there's evidence.
And during the time he shows Camden's face and just doxes.
And he told me, why don't you just go on stream and just react to my videos? I said, because there's nothing to react to. Your videos are allegations with no evidence.
And then like there's no, and then he wants everyone to just go fucking delve deep. It makes It makes no sense. I'm very confused. In the part where he shows Camden's face, there are sections of the video with text that just pop up so briefly you have to slowly scan the video to even read them. He says that several tactics that Camden used may allow him to avoid accountability. He claims that Camden will use anonymous accounts to spread rumors or misinformation about his victims or even Max and those who are affiliated with the filmmaking.
Dude, which is hilarious because he's basically creating a shadow organization to taint his words. Oh, are you coming against me? Well, this sounds like a Camden move.
They're not films. He may try to engage media sources to spin the narrative in his favor. So is that what's happening right now? Did Camden Gerard Davis contact me and am I a puppet? Do I have this 11-year-old boy getting me to say this, and Mutahar and all these other people?
Actually, now that you mention it, Camden, he did reach out to me and he told me to disavow Mamamax publicly. He did this to everyone. All the videos that are coming out about Mamamax, it's all Camden. All of Mamamax's past fake videos, well, he would have gotten away with them, but Camden, he reached out to all of us and gave us all the no. In fact, you want to know how I don't know? Let me tell you what happens when you search Camden Gerard Davis. Know Your Meme is the only online source for this guy. Just know your meme.
No, I don't think so. But it's also literally what you're doing to him, who you provided zero actual real evidence of him being a predator. So
you may attempt to engage trauma-oriented media sources, leveraging their platform to spin a narrative in his favor.
Bro, you can't even find anything about this fucking guy. That you can Google.
You don't find him.
All you want. There's no one named Camden Gerard Davis.
Okay, listen, this is someone that there are a lot of people making legitimate allegations against, which is why it would be really, 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 really nice if the allegations were taken to the police.
About this at all, aside from this one image, and that's it.
He has a history of spreading disinformation to deflect from allegations against him.
Max, you also have a history of spreading disinformation, and you admitted to it.
True!
You admitted to just crafting works of fiction for content and sensationalizing this whole thing and exploiting actual real victims of these situations, in my opinion. Max also says that Camden may use legal threats to suppress the story and silence victims. Yeah, maybe because you're just fucking defaming him and saying shit that you have no proof of or evidence of, and also admitting that you're lying about all kinds of other shit. That's like what defamation is. That's why people get sued over way less. This is perfect grounds to use legal threats to suppress, in my opinion. Holy shit. And this is the second largest.
And you want to know something else that Max has been doing a lot behind the scenes? He's been telling people not to reach out to this guy because he's too dangerous. And I think Muta asked him, like, why can't they reach out to him, like, to get his side of the story?
And he's too dangerous!
What kind of investigator does not want both sides of the story?
Max reached out to me a couple weeks ago and made me sign a Discord NDA.
Yeah, I didn't sign it. It obviously wouldn't hold up in a court of law, but he's like, sign the NDA, and I'm like, no?
Which does not stand up in court at all, by the way.
Yeah, it does not stand up. It's a joke.
It's not a valid NDA. You can't just say, you agree to an NDA, and then you say yes, and that's an NDA. That's not how NDAs work. NDAs are very difficult to enforce anyways. An actual real one crafted by a lawyer, not someone who crafts false narratives on YouTube. He wanted me to cover this and give him feedback, and I was like,
by the way, do you know who Mamamax's legal advisor is? It's ChatGPT. He doesn't have a law team working with him. He doesn't have a lawyer working with him. Maybe now he does. But basically, every quandary and legal issue that he's had, he asks ChatGPT.
There's no evidence of this guy. I can't even. It feels like an ARG. This feels fake. This feels like I don't know. I want to help. Obviously, I don't want people to be hurt, and I don't want victims to be victimized even further. But there's nothing to stand on here. There's nothing to stand on. And it's just like defamation and there's no evidence, and
it's horrible.
You're calling out fucking Charlie, which we'll get into that too.
Oh god, that's yucky.
Of course the guy's gonna use legal threats because you're just doing illegal shit.
The multiple sources he is implicated in criminal activities affecting minors.
What does that mean? Show us the sources. Show us the alleged victims, bro.
This individual could potentially use his charisma and
his whole argument for doing this whole thing is because now that the story got out, the victims will come flocking to me, and I'll have all of the victims.
Persuasive tactics to turn the public against this.
Bro wants to catch victims like they're fucking Pokemon.
Video and its creators.
What? What does that mean, dude? It's like the ultimate cop-out. Bro's playing 4D he doesn't even exist, for one. This guy's not even real, and he's playing 4D chess with us.
He's probably real. But yeah, the guy is so smart. He's so smart. By the way, He's not so smart. I spoke to Max, and like, here's the other issue. It's like you have all these conflicted stories. Like the way Max puts it in his videos, it's like this individual could potentially use his charisma and persuasive tactics to turn the public against this video. Like this guy's some sort of evil mastermind. I spoke to Max and to Spencer, the victim, alleged victim of this guy, and she explained to me that he doesn't do anything. He just sits on his ass and plays video games all day. That does not at all sound at all like the person that he's framing in this video, does it? And it's like, it's all these just incredible contradictions, these self-contradictions that just make it so bad.
He's manipulating me into making this video. By the way, I don't know if he's not real. I shouldn't say that. I hope he's not fucking real. This shit's wild. No one's getting me to make this video. This is just ridiculous. Then he says this thing.
There's a possibility that he will use social media and other platforms to discredit us for making counterclaims to confuse the public.
What does that mean? You're just saying, you're just providing a cop-out.
These are no evidence. It's all just a whole lot of things. It's like any criticism levied towards me could be the work of this Camden guy. Well, I wouldn't trust him. He's dark of skin and long of tooth. Like, what the frick are you saying, man?
Thing you're doing. Finally, we get back to speaking, and Max gives a subtle warning to Camden saying, Leviathans are coming for you, whatever the that means.
Camden Gerard Davis.
Leviathans are coming for you.
Leviathans are coming for you.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds epic. I'm gonna start saying that to everyone, by the way.
I don't know if that's some cult name or something, the Leviathans or something. But his channel, by the way, a couple months ago was named God Cult, which is a really odd name to have your YouTube channel in which you craft false narratives.
Here's a bit of a Nuxanor conspiracy theory, and I think it's right also, because when I talked to Max privately, he told me that he was working on another video calling out YouTubers for creating their own cults, and YouTubers are acting like cult leaders, and he was gonna use the drama channels that were criticizing him as examples of YouTubers that are cult leaders, because they are cult mentality convincing their audience to be against Max. Which is hilarious, because he changes his name to God Cult. He is the most prime example of a YouTube cult leader, where he claims that he has hitmen in his audience, like obvious pot calling the kettle black. Holy moly! But the thing is, I think that this Camden Gerard Davis thing was a small part of a much bigger plan of his to make a big cult documentary. This, I think, might have been just a massive way to get so many eyeballs on his big cult documentary videos. And that's why he called out Charlie and Joe Rogan and PewDiePie and Mr. Breast to you know, promote his channel, because ultimately this is it's a clout move. Even though I'm sure that he wants the victims to be okay and he wants the pedophiles to see justice, I really think that he ultimately wanted to do this. And I think I talked him out of it, but then again, every time I talk him out of something, he does it anyway. Like, I told him, what are you doing? What is wrong with you? You can't just make unsubstantiated allegations against someone as a springboard to launch a massive cult documentary.
Stuff and do illegal things. It's kind of weird. The whole thing's like coming together in this really strange way. To be extra clear, I don't want to discredit any trauma that real victims may have. Even the people who allegedly suffered at the hands of Camden. There's a lot to be said. There's supposedly hundreds upon hundreds of victims. You'd think there'd be something, some kind of article or something to...
More than article. You'd think there would be an online presence. You'd think the police would be notified. You'd think Max would have already worked with the FBI.
Show viewers that you wouldn't have to rely completely on blind faith that you are telling the truth. You wouldn't have to rely on this cult level of just influence and entitlement. I don't even know what's going on. Allowing people to see for themselves a problem is the way to do it, not by having to coerce them into joining a god cult. Max then tries to direct people to Spencer's new YouTube channel, where she's trying to build a platform with her new podcast.
Her building a platform is also a red flag. She is getting so much financial gain to calling out this guy. It muddies the water so badly. And I feel so bad for Spencer if she actually did go through all this stuff, which she very likely did. But this is not the way to go about taking him down.
Scanned through the podcast, couldn't find anything or evidence or anything special in regard to her history with...
So here's the wild thing. So you know how testimony holds up in court? I had to explain to Max in a call the difference between testimony and allegations. He's hunting pedophiles for the last 5 years, and he doesn't know the difference between testimony and allegations.
Acquired. Maybe there's another video on the channel that shows, you know, her going into more depth. Nope. There's a 10-hour video of Mamamax dancing for 10 hours. It's pretty sweet. So at this point, we have Mamamax lying about the authenticity of his videos, or just crafting false narratives, not necessarily lying, completely fabricating elements of videos, and then calling for his audience to seek justice where the law won't. By the way, in regard to stories that are made up. And then also begging creators like myself and Critical and PewDiePie and fucking the needle drop guy that...
Here's a review of Drake's new music album. But before that, a word from my sponsor.
Bald fella, to report on these stories without vetting them first and then calling them out whenever they don't do that. Bro is fucking delusional. He even says that...
It seems the lines between the fictional portrayal
Why does he sound like Master Yoda?
and the underlying truth became blurred for some.
Yeah, we didn't blur the lines, by the way. Us, the people who are watching your videos and the people who are not being told the actual truth by you, the person who we've come for coverage of these stories in a
Dude, everyone clicked on your video hoping that they would actually just get a video exposing a bad man. And none of that happened.
Pedophiles, they shall expose me.
You're changing details of cases because you want to make a film and not actually catch a predator. You want to appear cool and you want...
Hey. You forget Oompaville. He found a picture of Pain, the Naruto character, and was able to reverse image search a YouTube channel that also used Pain from Naruto as a profile picture.
More cult members, and you want to be able to galvanize people and weaponize your audience instead of actually catching predators like Alex Rosen, Chet Goldstein. I don't fucking know the other guys. I forget their names.
Yeah, but those guys fucking suck too. Like, didn't those guys like botch cases too?
I know Alex Rosen though. That dude's fucking huge. He's gigantic, like physically very large.
Maybe not Alex Rosen, but Chet Goldstein. Didn't he just like fuck up his case?
Potential that he's never even caught a predator, by the way. Pretty insane.
Oh god, oh dude, he didn't even show those clips. The clips of him saying on the podcast, it's like, oh yeah, I got this one guy arrested, and then later saying,
I never got anyone arrested.
For a predator catching channel. So will he set the record straight or accurately portray the events of the stories that he's covered to show these terrible situations and their authenticity?
Probably not.
Well, he says maybe, but the world isn't ready for it because it's so provocative.
Perhaps in the future, the time will be right to revisit these stories, but for now,
no.
it's apparent that society may not be prepared for such provocative content.
This is the kind of stuff I feel like I would find if I went on the deep web.
He made another video about a month ago, and this is right before he started messaging me on Discord. He was upset with all the coverage of the Sniper Wolf situation instead of the situations that he was trying to report on and call attention to. By the way, not real situations, false narratives.
Let's take a moment to step back from the online spectacle and face the harrowing truth. Human trafficking and destructive cults are not just issues in distant lands.
In this video, though,
wow, wait, is dude really unleashing the strongest argument of all time? The pedophiles are bad argument? Damn.
He does provide us with a few extra screenshots, as if he's providing evidence of Camden's atrocities. But what exactly does he show in this video? A Snapchat profile with no messages. Also, a Instagram profile that is private. And yet again, in this video, he's incredibly frustrated with how online gossip is getting more coverage than his situations that he's covering, and he calls out Moist Critical, aka Charlie White, specifically for covering Sniper Wolf and not this thing.
Unfortunately, your silence has left me with no choice but to resort to more public forms of communication. This, in of itself, is symptomatic of a larger problem. This lack of dialogue among creators is not just an internal community issue. It has far-reaching consequences.
He calls them out, but in a screenshot of a message that he...
By the way, I just want you to know something else, something that he said in the raw footage of the video he recorded that didn't make it to the final cut. I think the editor cut this part out. This is like an actual part of the video that was in the raw footage.
I could literally cancel you, Charlie. I could literally cancel you, and I choose not to. It's true, though. It's the truth. Like, I'm the friggin' pedo hunter.
Guy's delusional. Actually delusional. I got an email from someone claiming they know Max in real life and that he is a diagnosed schizophrenic. I don't believe it necessarily, but I also don't not believe it either.
He sent to Charlie. He says that he has no expectation of Charlie to cover the story, which is...
bullshit. Dude, I love Oompa faces so much.
Your immediate attention could very well be life.
Wow, he really is pulling out the Yoda voice.
Saving. Charlie, the subject matter we're discussing is incredibly important. Again, coverage from you is not expected.
This is what I mean, by the way, that every single message he delivers is this long. Like, this is an average size Mamamax message that was written by ChatGPT. This is not human. Humans don't write like this, bro.
There's no obligation for you to cover the subject. Charlie, we're determined to be heard. I hope you will not let us down.
I fucking love Oompa so much.
Boom. Charlie lets him down. It's just another blatant lie. He says he doesn't care whether or not he chooses to cover it, but if he doesn't, he's going to put him on blast for ignoring the situation and then, like, fake cancel him or some shit. He used that as, like, a marketing scheme. First off,
when he uploaded that video about Charlie, he messaged me. He's like, "What do you think?" And I said, "I think this is awful. What the frick are you doing?"
Worst idea ever. I mean, that's a bad idea.
On the podcast, Muta asked me, it's like, "Do you think he actually has anything on Charlie to cancel him for?" And I say, "Muta, he doesn't even have anything on the actual alleged pedophiles he's calling out. He got nothing on Charlie."
Really bad ideas. That shit takes the cake. Holy what a manipulative fellow. Now, to further the point of him just being manipulative, he shows another screenshot of a message which he supposedly sent to other creators, trying to get them in on his little defamation scheme. He doesn't want creators to use their platform in harmful ways. I guess I use my platform in a harmful way. Because I don't cover this shit, and now I'm negatively covering.
I'm very harmful, but let me just say, Max wanted people to cover this story so that if there is validity behind it, the people that were abused by this guy would be able to know that this is going on, and they would reach out to Max. So in that case, you're welcome for covering this, Mamamax. Job done, mission accomplished. I am covering it, which is exactly what you wanted me to do. You're welcome, Mamamax. Leviathans are here, and everyone is happy. Everyone out there that made a video canceling Mamamax, you guys are helping.
He also says that he cleared his original video trying to guilt trip YouTubers like Jimothy Beast and PewDiePie into covering it with cult experts. He cleared it with cult experts.
You don't understand. I spoke to a cult psychologist, and I want you to know that they're real.
And it's like, I'm not doubting that cults are real, and I'm not doubting that psychologists are real. I'm just saying, you have no evidence.
But once again, provides no exchanges with these experts. By the way, though, if you're critical of his video, you're a narcissist, a sociopath, or a psychopath, just diminishing any form of criticism, and also a defender of files. You can't say anything negative. This is like classic, just fucking internet brain rot here, distilled into a new facet, which is something that is cool. Getting rid of PDF files. Normally it's just people calling people fucking racist for no reason, or you know, sexist for no reason, or some shit like that. I don't know. And now it's like you're a file.
My new one is being canceled for being transphobic because I start videos with ladies and gentlemen, which is not inclusive.
Because you because you don't like spreading misinformation. If you react negatively to my lies and fiction, then you're a fucking sociopath. He then shares that he has extensive evidence, yet guess what? Provides none. Again.
Additionally, we have a substantial body of evidence. This includes written records of conversations between victims and the abuser, photographs capturing their time together, and video clips where the abuser is actively propagating the cult's ideologies.
Sorry, I'm not doing the voice very well anymore. Rather than show the evidence, which one might think one would do in this situation.
Yes, one would think that evidence would be pretty pog.
He would rather show a montage of Moist Critical projected onto a screen behind him, intercut with #WeAreReal, and images of alleged victim. You know, instead of images that might compel someone to believe the story. The most ironic part, though, is when he calls out the digital landscape and the fact that it's littered with half-truths.
A lot of people also don't know this, but Max is currently in this really weird trip down thinking that AI is taking over the world. Like, this is a big part of his day-to-day life, apparently.
The digital landscape we navigate is already rife with misleading narratives and half-truths. And until AI is perfected, the problem is only set to intensify.
I think a lot of people aren't aware of how real this ideology of his actually is. People don't realize that this is legitimately to every fiber of his being, that is, he wants AI to take over the world.
With advancing technologies.
What the fuck are you talking about, dude? You are a fucking massive hypocrite, and not even like a funny kind of hypocrite. You're like the shitty kind of hypocrite.
Yeah!
Do as I
At least Logan Paul, he makes believe he's a good guy when he's not. Like, it's kind of hilarious. Am I right, gamers?
Say not as I do character. I genuinely think there's some kind of hero complex, and the more and more that's come out about this, the more and more that I believe that. This is insane. This is classic YouTuber fucking weird narcissism shit, just with a like a holy just fucking conquest behind it for some reason. This absolute moral purity.
I don't even know what I believe anymore. I do think he wants
to consider how his platform can be used, the platform that he's earned, by the way, not Max's platform, Charlie's platform.
But we believe that influencers like you have the unique power to bridge this gap, to use your reach and influence to bring important topics.
Guys, you want to know proof why Camden Gerard Davis is a cult leader? Well, it's because 95% of child sexual abuse is preventable.
To the forefront.
No, bro, you're actually trying to pressure him and essentially weaponize his audience to apply more pressure by making a video like this. You're trying to weaponize his audience to just defame people more so and provide no evidence. That's not how reality works. Then we get the cherry on top.
Dude, this guy's gonna come back after all of this and be like,
everyone is talking about my story. I have collected 4,000 new victims. I win.
Which is Mamamax doesn't mind being seen as a vigilante.
Do you see yourself as a vigilante?
I don't mind seeing myself as a vigilante.
Listen, I wouldn't call myself Batman. However, like, if you thrust the name Batman upon me, I will take it.
If you're asking me what I see myself as, I see myself as just a regular guy who is angry at what is going on.
I really want to know, how can Max claim that he's advocating for children and victims, but he's telling stories that are crafted in fiction, by his own words, trying to guilt creators into covering these stories that are crafted in fiction? Incredibly irresponsible. And also doxing people on live streams who have zero involvement into any situation that we also don't even know if it's real at this point. It's blind faith, man. It's a cult. You have to join it to understand. And then finally, encouraging his viewers to find people, go after their homes and workplaces. Financially motivated? I don't fucking know. Bro loves to plug his Patreon at every single opportunity he possibly can.
That is really weird.
And we'll get into that too. Because like, this is something, I mean, you gotta make money. As a creator, you have to make money.
Agreed. Based Oompaville. Let's freaking go. That is a Jew certifiable comment. As a Jew, I certify him as based. We continue.
Makes sense. You're putting your time out there. This is what you're investing your time into. He's using, this is a really strange form of exploitation that I think I've never really seen before. All making money is exploitation, just at the heart, right?
No, not all exploitation is making money. Ad revenue on YouTube isn't exploiting the advertisers. No, literally no. Only most money is through exploitation.
This is an interesting form here. Max, using his platform, continually states and points out the horrors that happen and occur to children in society, all while asking for people to support his Patreon. That wouldn't necessarily be a problem if he was actually proving that he's, you know, arresting people. And
it would also be fine if he never claimed he was arresting people and all of his videos are just like the fake Batman bullshit. Like, that would be fine too. It's the weird mix of fiction and reality where it looks like he's telling a true story
in the ways that other people are doing actively on YouTube right now and have been doing for a long time. But with his ways of doing it, that is crafting false narratives and arresting nobody, it's just going to waste. Or it's just going to him. It's just like building him up into this sort of weird cult leader guy. He plugs his page.
It almost is like he's a cult leader guy.
Patreon in all of his videos and says that us, the viewer, can help stop things from happening to children.
If you'd like to help me punish these, please consider going to my Patreon to join us.
Help me punish.
Oh, do you not like pedophiles? Have you gone to patreon.com/NuxTaku? Every dollar you give me is going to a guy that really doesn't like pedophiles either. I'm just saying, every time you go to kick.com/Nuxanor and drop a sub where I get 95% of the sub revenue, unlike on Twitch, I'm just saying, 95% of that sub revenue is going to a guy that fucking hates pedophiles, so like.
He's leveraging people's hate of PDF files with himself making money and then combining that into epic false narratives and just creating these ARGs and making a bunch of money off of it. Hey man, audience, can you guys donate to me so I can catch more predators? I'm a good guy, but also doesn't catch them, to be honest.
Hey,
so
whoa!
Donate to charity.
You're just gonna call him out on his biggest lie like that?
Donate to your local police station. They do more good. I promise. He also finds ways to convey this sort of legal ambiguity in regard to being able to and not being able to show things on YouTube.
He keeps doing that. He's like,
I am making all of this shit up, but I can't show you because it is too dangerous, my children. I will take this danger upon myself, on my own back and my own boner. I will risk myself.
To get people to subscribe to his Patreon and give him money so they can see stuff that's like illegal or something. That's what he alludes to. I don't really know.
Due to the graphic and legal nature of the section, it's been cut from the YouTube version. Full version can be found on my OnlyFans.
And it seems to be working pretty well. He makes a good bit of money off of Patreon. Here's some stats. The cheapest tier is just $5 a month. The highest tier is $1,000. So we've kind of set.
He really calls his members zygotes, embryos, and fetuses.
Tier is just $5 a month. The highest tier is $1,000. So we've kind of set the context. We've set the stage. You guys can understand why a lot of people now believe he is irresponsible. And as a result of his irresponsibility, people just get away with it. The people that he's making videos about, false or whatever, they just get away with it. He doesn't take the time to think out his investigations. He tries to make a film with all of these. When and if the PDF files that he's talking about in his films ever get caught, they can just leave the country.
Because he announces them. Like, it's insane. It's insane. Even if this Camden guy is evil, you just gave him the biggest heads up in the universe.
Escape conviction. Mainly because the water's been muddied so much by the false narratives crafted.
We can't let the police do it. I want to do it. I will arrest them. I will put them in my jail. I have my own jail.
Also in my recent video, we talked about the cases that were thrown out on To Catch a Predator with Chris Hansen because of amateur involvement. Mamamax does this exact same thing. This is
Mamamax is a professional amateur. I'm just saying, like, it is borderline impressive to be as amateurish as he is.
The purest form of amateur involvement. He actually admits to fictionalizing events. That taints the situation and ruins any sort of future for a possible investigation by the proper authorities. Because, like, who's he gonna do? Get him arrested? He's gonna arrest him himself? You can't do that. You can't just arrest people. I arrested an old lady once at the Warren County Fair because she was stealing shit out of my mom's truck.
Let's go.
I put her under citizen's arrest.
Yes! Yes! I believe that entirely, Oompaville.
Oh, he has responded to the controversy. He uploaded a video.
Oh, fuck this response video. Oh, God, dude. This response video got 90% dislikes. Oh, God.
Video called, I Place Accountability in My Own Hands. So far, it's been very well received. It is not.
Yeah.
It is not a good video.
He rambles for 15 minutes, and it's full of half-truths and lies.
He really is. It's really just a big old pity party, in all honesty. In the start of his response, he says he just finished recording a 30-minute video called Silence All Survivors, which supposedly included responses to criticism, his approaches, and it included apologies, and also a call to action in regard to Camden. But the video never got posted because after showing it to some of his friends and survivors, he said some loved it, and some had gripes, and some hated it. Makes sense, dude. He tries to get some audience.
For the record, I don't believe that he sent this to people outside of his little friend group. One of the massive excuses that he keeps having is that, like, why is no one helping me? Why is no one giving me advice? And that, Max, is a lie. People have been trying so hard to help you and give you advice.
Sympathy by saying he's being told every which way and can't make everyone happy. He plays the victim. In this whole, he's the victim.
I really think it should be known at how scummy this is. In his call with Muta said something like, yo, Max, you're doing a terrible job about this. And Max says, well, Spencer, why don't you tell Muta how that makes you feel? And Spencer, you know, the victim here, she comes out and she's like, Muta, you made me feel horrible. I feel terrible. What kind of shifting blame onto some person who was allegedly raped? Like, that's horrible.
He's the victim here. He's not really taking responsibility into his own hands. In my opinion, I don't really know what this is.
I feel like I'm being pulled in every which way. And no matter how hard I try, I cannot make everyone happy.
The comment section is absolutely destroying him, by the way. And I mean, it's very, 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 very strange. The whole thing is very, very strange. I want to know what you guys think about it. Because like the biggest thing for me is that it's just so, there's a lot of cringe in the Mamamax videos. It's like very geared towards children. It feels like it's like children will watch this kind of stuff. And then, but
I mean, he literally calls them children in his videos.
After it's like not, it's now he's being honest, but he's not being honest. And it's just, it feels like fucking a big old fucking fat ass fraud. And this comment
rough,
here is
bro.
very compelling to me. I'll just read it because this is exactly how I felt, and this guy puts it better than I could. What bothers me is the fact that you're housing a survivor and she has a handle that's almost similar to yours. It almost feels like as if you were a thing, and if you are, that's a huge conflict of interest. I understand that the survivors need to be heard, but I think that they should be heard once you help them resolve their issues first. This whole situation looks more personal than it plays out logical. Look, I don't know you, and I'm not trying to be a douche, but I just want to keep it real. Please resolve these issues, take accountability for your actions, and do the right thing moving forward. Exactly, dude.
Yeah.
This feels personal.
It's even worse. So I have two things to say just as closing thoughts. The first thing is I have learned a lot personally from this entire story. From this Max situation, I have learned that I need to not take friends at their face value. This is like the third time for me personally that I regret taking friends at face value. And Max, while we have never been close friends, like to the point that we didn't even have each other's like Discord information or any contact information really until this situation started, and he asked someone to put me in contact with him. But still, I'll be honest, it really sucks. It really sucks. And this is not the first time it's happened to me, and it's bullshit. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry to anybody that got any hate because of me, and because I was friendly with this man and alleged things or alleged corroborating things that he said. Because it sucks. It sucks. I feel slimy for trusting him and for doing that. And that's shit. I don't know. That's what YouTube's been teaching me lately, and it's just such a sad and sucky freaking lesson. And as far as the Max stuff, dude has one option. Guy needs to hunker down and get this guy, Camden guy, either arrested or vindicated. If he's actually a criminal, you get him arrested and you have a place back at YouTube. If you cannot get him arrested, you need to leave the internet. That's the closing thoughts here. This situation is bullshit, and it really, really sucks, and it's so ugly.
Like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. Stay weird, fam.